Hi everybody, it's me, Shannon, with Conversation with Spiritual People. And wow, what an incredible shift in energy. We really shifted this energy from yesterday to today. It is pretty remarkable. I want to talk about tonight, this is my fourth my fourth video that I'm doing. And I want to do about responsibility, spiritual and physical responsibility. And whose is it? A lot of people, let me start this. Let me go by this because today something really got to me today, and I really needed to express myself around this because this person kind of shoved and made it my responsibility, or thought it's my responsibility for somebody else's healing, and it's not. That's not the way the world works. Those that know me know I try not to interfere in too much in your healing experience. I will hold space for you, but it's your responsibility to do the work. And you know, I even do love donations. I didn't even charge, you know, what other people do. I just do it on donation and still get this judgment going on around it, which really just it's been bothering me a little bit, and I'm really learning how to really speak my truth about it, because part of the responsibility is learning what you're worth and what your value is. And I know what my value is, you know, and I love doing this. This is my service. This is what I do. This is where I'm at. But responsibility, when you call me and you come and have a session with me and I work the energy and I get you clear, it's your responsibility to keep yourself clear. It's your responsibility to do the steps that takes you on to your next level. Now, it's not my responsibility. I've done that. It hurts too much to take it on. I will help clear you. I will help work with you. I will be your cheerleader. I'll do whatever, but it's not my responsibility. And when somebody connects with me and makes it my responsibility for, that's not going to happen. Sorry, somebody tried to call. That's not going to happen. So I'm going to make this thing, and everybody probably should do that. I am no longer responsible for my family's behaviors, their actions, their healing, their happiness. I'm not. I'm not responsible for my clients, my friends, anybody that I am not responsible for their happiness, their healing, none of that. I'm not. I am only responsible for mine. And I've been doing this for over 20-something years, and I can tell you, you have good days and you have bad days. And I love doing what I do. I'm very passionate. And I can tell you, I've worked with lots and lots of people over the year. And I've seen some amazing transformations in people. And I am so blessed to be the witness for that. But I don't take responsibility for it. That's theirs. I'm getting all like excited inside of my chest. It's exciting. But for me, working with people in a spiritual realm, I have to stay responsible. It's a big responsibility, especially doing what I do, because some people are really emotional. They have a lot of emotional things going on. They're grieving. They have things going on. And I have to be very impeccable with my words. I have to be very impeccable with how I'm being. And it is a lot of responsibility. A lot. People don't realize how much it is. And Ricardo, he could probably tell you that too. It is a lot of responsibility to do what we do, because one word can set somebody off or set somebody into another place. And they turn the words around. So in my work and what I do, I just allow it to be. I put it out and put it there because I can't be responsible. You know, and it's like Christ. Christ was not responsible for how people reacted to him. He just did his work. He just went on. Buddha was not responsible for the way people reacted to him, or whatever they did. He just went on. Great spiritual leaders just go on. But being responsible for yourself, that is the most important. And a lot of people don't like hearing that. Oh my God, I gotta be responsible. But you're asking me to be responsible, or pushing it over towards me. And no. When you really want to heal, you take responsibility for your own healing, your own path, and it's a beautiful thing. There are people that will help you and support you in that way. Amazing, amazing experiences will start happening to you when you start doing that. And, you know, I look at a lot of things in this life and it's like, in order for me, I will come back to me, in order for me to heal, I had to take responsibility for me. I have to show up and take responsibility for me. Whether I go and see a therapist, whether I go see a healer, whether I go see a chiropractor, whether I go see my doctor, whether I do my own meditations, whether I eat right, but it's me that's being in responsibility of. And so that is where your spiritual practice comes in, of what is your spiritual responsibility. And your spiritual responsibility is to take care of yourself, and then you can take care of others. You're supporting others. You are not doing it for them. That is the key thing. You do not do it for them. You can love them. You can support them. But they have to get up off the floor. They have to come on. So I just wanted to put that out to you tonight, my little video that I'm doing. I'm very excited about it. Go to our website. It's cwsp4444.com and see the event. Marco's on here now. We're going to have a couple of new classes. We're going to sit down and have that come out too. So, I don't know. Marco, can you come on screen? I'm going to try to bring you on screen. Bring Marco on camera, Ed. Let's see if you can come on camera with me. Can you come on camera with me? Marco Polo. Maybe we'll do it that way if he's not going to come on. Buenas noches, Maria. There. Hola, hola. ¿Cómo está? Marco. He must not be able to come on. Anyway, I was going to bring him on. He could ask me some questions.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can. Actually, really good. I can hear you better than you've been in a while.
I guess the last times the energies were kind of scattered and made it all staticky and crazy.
Awesome. So, Marco, tonight's theme is about responsibility, spiritual and physical responsibility. And I was really talking about, you know, and you know me well enough. I don't take on other people's responsibility and things of their own healing and stuff. Is there, looking on that line, you know, I do respond, and then we were talking about this today about needing someone to really just ask me the questions. If you have a question around responsibility and things like that, put it up there. I'm more than willing to answer it. Is there a question about responsibility that you may have?
That's a really good topic. Like you were mentioning about being responsible, like doing this type of work. A lot of people think that, that we're doing the healing, but it's actually the person that is there for the session. They're taking responsibility for their own healing. We just facilitate that sacred space. So what does it mean to become responsible for your own healing, or, responsibility for those things that you need to take action? Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah. Um, like I said, like if for being responsible for yourself, it's for your own healing. If you, and Marco would tell you, sometimes I do need to have conversations with people or talk to people, or I do go and have clearing sessions on myself. I do have people that I work with and take care of
Mm-hmm.
that place. And it's taking the initiative to know, hey, I don't feel right today. Maybe I need to go out for a walk. Or maybe I need to eat a salad today. But it's taking those steps and that responsibility to show up and say, I need to be for my well being. And that's even setting boundaries with people.
Yes.
Being responsible is setting boundary, taking responsibility for your boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
separating responsibilities of feeling for your young adult children. Well,
That's that's
but that's
definitely a
even a
challenge when it comes
responsibility,
with children, or young adults.
right? Well, it's like where do you let them have their responsibility? What responsibilities are you're giving to them? Because a lot of times we forget. Oh, she says, oh, boundaries. Karen. You say it all. Says it all. That's it. And it is. You forget that, wait a minute, you've grown them, you've got them to this place. And part of it is letting go of that responsibility. But you knowing that you taught them enough about responsibility to take the right actions, to take the right responsibility to become a healthy human being.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that they know right from wrong and they have their own healthy, responsibility. Yes, they are still going to probably ask you for gas money and go to eat at Taco Bell and those things like that. Yes, they are, because they're still used to that. But as you begin to give them a little more responsibility, that kind of, starts going away. And then you have to start setting the responsibility, being the responsible one to start setting the boundary. Because it's like a cow and a calf. When a calf becomes a certain age, the mom starts weaning them. But every once in a while, she would let them suck, you know, every once in a while that she would let them, and then she would keep moving them away so that it's not so traumatic. They go on to eat, learn how to eat the grass. They learn how to, to find the right grass, or to find the water, or to find the hay, or whatever it is. But they go and find it. And it's the same thing with parents.
Mm-hmm.
They hopefully teach them enough about responsibility. And if not, then the children will understand um, another way, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
And responsibility also, I feel it has to do with value,
Yes,
valuing, yourself and valuing somebody else. For example, speaking about children, like, cleaning up after themselves. You can easily clean up after them, but you're taking that away from them. You're not making them responsible, and then they
that's
don't have
right.
value or respect for that particular duty. And so you're not teaching them, you're taking that away from them.
That's right. And that's why I like teaching classes. And it's the same thing. I'm teaching, and then it's like, okay, now go and do it. I
Mm-hmm.
give you the toolbox, go and fish. But if I keep the toolbox, you're not fishing. You're not doing what you're doing.
What is that saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make a horse drink the water.
That's right. Unless you just let it be there, leave it alone, and it'll go. It'll do its thing. Because it will not thirst to death if there's water there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you start learning how to do boundaries and responsibility. And responsibility is so, yeah, yeah. And I've had people come at me in different ways and different things, and today it just really rubbed me wrong, and that's a lot for me to say. It kind of threw me. It's like, no, 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 no. Wait a minute. I am not responsible for somebody else. If they come and see me, or they go on a trip with me, or they do something with me, and they leave me, that is on them. I'm not responsible. I'm not married to them. They're not my kid. They're not any of that. No, they're grown.
And that's the thing.
You know,
We're not responsible for other people's actions.
no,
We're only responsible for our own actions, what we do.
that's right. And I do the very best that I can to make sure I have resources. There's things that is available to people. And that's why I say matter of fact, it's coming to more clearer that I need to start setting a price. I need to be responsible and set a price.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been thinking all this time that people need to be responsible for their own healing, and they can just do love donation.
Mm-hmm.
And that really just is not working anymore.
It's a
Because
very fine line and balance, because there's a lot of people that have different opinions with this particular subject. When it comes to natural healing and about putting a set price, some people get very like, well, you shouldn't charge for this.
well,
And
this is what I have to say to them. Listen to me.
listening
When
them.
I go to the gas station and I put gas in my car to go to a workshop for somebody, and I put my little thing in there, I can't stand there and say, oh God, please fill this gas tank up. It's not going to happen. The gas attendant wants money. So I have to charge. You have to charge. That's how God gets us the money.
And that's becoming responsible for yourself.
My rent. I have to pay rent. Okay. So I could just tell the landlord, oh, I do this work and it's all free. Woo! No, they don't do that. I'll be in a tent down on the street. No. Christ never lived in it. Well, he might have lived in a tent, but he was taken care of. He had all the money. Everything was his.
Mm-hmm.
Buddha, the same way.
But they were taking
They had
responsibility for themselves, for their actions, and for their work.
Yes, because there was a bartering system back then.
Mm-hmm.
Now our system, our bartering system is called money.
Yeah.
It is. I need whatever you want to call it. It's how we do, and that's how we take responsibility in our own healing too, because it's that place of. And I've had people come and work with me and give me $10 or $15 and turn right around and say they were leaving to go to Hawaii the next weekend.
Yeah. But it also teaches us value, because you told me this, and you taught me this about people learning how to value themselves. Valuing you as the person holding the space.
Yes. And having responsibility of that, of valuing another person.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so important, that value or the responsibility inside your heart of who you are. And spiritually, you have a spiritual responsibility. And that spiritual responsibility is not to judge someone because of what their actions is or whatever like that. And I even say that because I had to go back today when I did get a little miffed at this person or what I was reading, and had to get out of my human part and say, this person triggered me. There's something that I need to take responsibility for to sit with. And I think that is why it showed up like it is. It's like, no. And for me to take responsibility and stand up and speak my truth. And you're going to see a lot more of that, because I'm no. Now, if you was to say, I'm not responsible for, I'm irresponsible about texting and emailing and calling people back, that's me. That's my area that I have to work in. I have a hard time with the communication part of it. And that is my what do you call it, thing. I just forget. That's it. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Any other questions? Any questions from anybody that's listening or watching?
Let's see.
Most people are just saying hola. Hola.
Hola. Buenas tardes todos.
But doing even teaching classes, and I've seen this so many times, is and I've had to correct things, and it's not anything bad, and I don't want to be an ego about it, but
Jerry, come here,
teachers,
come here.
Teachers, that teach something and then they just leave their students hanging.
That's not being responsible, like leaving them hanging.
Mm-hmm. And I've had that over the years. People show up in my world. It's like, well, okay, let's fix it. Let's go. And I'm here to support you. Anybody that I work with, I'm always here to support. And if I can't do it, I can find somebody. I'll put it out and find somebody to support you that'll help you. Because I know lots of people. And I'm not saying I'm the Messiah or anything like that. I don't have that. The energy may not be compatible, and we may need to find somebody else to work with you, due to maybe religious beliefs or things like that. We just have to work in that space, and that's okay. But that's me being responsible and being in that place of saying, well, no, okay. So, because I will tell people, if you haven't made progress in three sessions with me, I will find somebody else, because I'm not being responsible, and and I need to make sure that you're taken care of just as well.
Yes, and adding to what you said, because sometimes people don't become themselves, so they keep going to the healer and thinking, okay, every time I go, I'm gonna get something, but they become codependent of that relationship, and they're not taking responsibility for their own work.
That's right. That's like, and that's very truth. And that's very truth. And your own work is so important. Mm-hmm. And codependency on your therapist is not good. Not good at all.
No, because then you're not growing. You're not learning your lesson.
Mm-mm. No. And that's where it gets stifled a lot. So, and I'm going to throw this in, and we haven't been real responsible about this. Is kind of the PRing about, we're going to do a master class of angelic Reiki. And we're probably going to extend the day a little bit, because I am going to add some things into it. Mm-hmm. So if you've taken the angelic Reiki master class before and would like to sit in it, and if you have taken level 1 and 2 and would like to take the master class, but if you would like to sit and retake, you're more than welcome to come and give us a donation, because we are going to add a couple of things that we haven't taught before that
Mhm.
I feel needs to be in it, and I'm probably going to get in trouble or probably kicked out of the association. I don't care. Um, I've been telling Marco this for a while, that I there's something there that I need to explore. But anyway, um, and I am going to be. Um, I really want to take on a couple of, or two or three different people to do some internship with me,
Mhm.
um, just like you did. And I want to teach that, but I also want to start teaching these classes and be responsible. And that's why I said I need to really be responsible with getting these classes set up and take care of that.
And becoming responsible, that's about showing up and stepping up into your full potential. Playing full
No,
out.
no.
Oh
Yes, yes. And that is playing full out. That's being responsible. Being responsible for yourself.
no. Hmm.
Being responsible. And that's a big thing. And people, you know, I wanted to look up the definition, but I should have looked on there what is responsibility, because sometimes I think it's funny because, love, the definition of love, it says something about sex. It's about sex.
Love?
Yes. Look at the Webster Dictionary. I think the first or second definition is about sex, which I think is so interesting.
Hmm.
What did she say, Marco?
I can't see because I guess since we're shared screen, it only shows it on your end.
Okay, let me read what it says. My religious background taught me about the tribe of Israel. One tribe was the spiritual leader caste, and they were supported by the other tribes. I get tripped up about this. I look for the day and the ways that exchange can be beyond monetary exchange. Yes, but right now that is the way it is. Even when we go to Peru and work with the indigenous people, they use money, or they do corn, or there's some kind of energetic exchange. There is.
Mhm.
Even in the high mountains, there's always an exchange of energy. And when I
Come here, mom.
work with someone, when we work with somebody, especially, um, I, okay, let's talk about this. In this country, there is a really, really, really big epidemic going on right now with mental illness. People that are on the street, people that are mentally ill, and there is a large epidemic of it. And there are sometimes that people do come to see me that have mental illness, and right away who they are by the way they talk. And
Mhm.
Marco will tell you, I will refer them to psychologists or psychiatrists or
You're a professional. Yeah.
yeah, it is not for me. Um, but even that, I am not responsible for that, for their mental health. I'm not. And 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 the reason why I say that, because if I become responsible for that, I become worried about that person, or I become where I don't sleep. I'm giving up my energy. I'm being in that place. But if I can hold my space and refer, like I said, we have a whole host of people that we can get them to,
Hmm.
and we can give them the information, but we can't take and beat them. It's like you can't beat somebody to go see a doctor. And we cannot diagnose. We can't say, oh, you're mentally ill, Or, oh my God, you know, you got this. No, we can't. I can say, well, I would suggest this go, and you know, I can say here, but I can't say that. You can't. If you are you're a healer and you tell somebody, no, no,
Mm-mm.
you can't. And it's like for me being responsible, and that's the way the law is for one. But you know, if I know somebody's got something, cancer or something like that going on, I will say, you know, um, I would go get a checkup at your doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would go have a checkup, and not, and that because it's not me to diagnose them. Me, I'm doing the whole thing. I'm clearing your energy, the whole thing, not just that.
Not just the addressing the physical. And sometimes people get like scared and get all wrapped up around it. And I said, well, if you know, if you go to a professional, get two other opinions, you know, go see three different people and experts in that field and see if they
Right.
will tell you the same thing. One may tell you something different. So, you know,
And you know, I see doctors, I see psychiatrists. My, I shouldn't be saying that. My clientele is very wide range from spiritual leaders to doctors to all these people.
mm-hmm.
And so I have to be very diverse and all religious places. And so I have to even be responsible for that, of how I approach somebody spiritually, you
Yeah.
know, how I approach them, because I, you know, Muslim people, or Christian people, or Buddhist people, or atheist people, or whatever, you know, you have to approach it in a neutral way.
Yeah.
Especially what we do is a very neutral, and you know, to learn that is just to be in a place, because you know, I do medium work. I work with people. Most people that know that come to see me know I'm woo woo. I am woo woo. Or I do extractions. I do demonic things coming out of people. I do that. People know when they come to see me, there's some woo woo going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's going to be some. Mark.
Oh yeah. But that's your experience. That's your work. You know, that's your
Yeah.
specialty.
But it's like my normal everyday life. It's like, okay, yeah, sometimes I do think that I'm the one that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because I'm working in that space. But you know, for and I've never really reacted like this before, but it's just when somebody comes at me like that, and it's like, wow, okay, Shannon, this is a big trigger. This is what really needs to be talked about. I'm not responsible. No,
Mm-hmm.
no. It's like I'm drawing the line in the sand. And for me to say that,
Boundaries.
no,
Boundaries.
no, you're not responsible for Antoine. I'm not responsible for my brother and sisters, my nephews, nieces, all of them. I'm not.
Mm-mm.
If they need something, they can come to me. But I don't have to take on their hat. I can't make them happy. I can't fix them unless they want to be fixed.
We can't change people. We can only
I'm
change
not
them.
even responsible for you. And you know I'll tell you that right quick.
Mm-hmm.
No. Mm-mm. No. But that's the way it's supposed to be. Because if I'm being responsible for you, I'm judging you.
And not only that, you're robbing me from my experience, and I'm not allowing to step into my own
That's
power,
right.
growing and learning from my experience. Because then you become responsible, and that takes, you know, away from me.
Yes, it does. And that's a big scary thing. It's like, do you, Marco? Don't do me, do you? I, I'll be
Mm.
a cheerleader. I'll put my little cheerleader. Hey. And just the same with me. And it's like when somebody's going through something, I don't want you to fix me. I just want somebody to express something. Get up, boy. Let's go. That's it. Let's go. However long you want to be down there, I'll be waiting over here having a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But
Or
let me
me
work it
too.
out. Yeah. And I love doing what I do. I love to be in that place and just sit and hold that space to let things show up and watch people explore themselves.
Oh yes.
And that's a lot of work to be responsible in that place, you know. You know, it's beautiful to be able to do it. I'm in great gratitude and I love doing it. I do. I just love supporting people and watching them be uh, that's why I say I support you and I'll hold the energy and I'll move things and help you get to where, but then it's time for you. You got to take the step.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be responsible. So, anything else? Any other questions? Anybody else have a question?
Questions.
And that's what even back to the young person's statement about the two tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's where even being responsible of how you answer the questions, because sometimes when spirit will give me a story, and I'm telling a story instead of um, coming direct
Yeah.
at it, and I come at a story because the person's religious belief or whatever. I have to and try to be respectful in that way, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to be responsible, and it is, and I see a very diverse religious background, even doing talks. You know, you have to be in that way. Carolyn, do you qualify to become an intern of yours? How do you qualify? Um, we can talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You've already have. You just don't know it yet.
Oh yeah. If you're here, you're showing up, you are there.
um, Caroline said. Caroline said that. That's why I said that back to her. It's like, well, you already have. You just don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, but it's just showing up and working and being a part of what happens. So um, it's a very powerful place to be. Anything else? Anybody else? Awesome. So I'm going to get off here for the night. Tomorrow night, I'm going to go back with what I originally was going to do. Or we could just come on and just do this. But I'm determined to do 30 videos of this, just talking, asking questions. People want to ask questions. Um, I'm actually reading a book and you heard what I said. I'm reading a book.
Did you see my eyes open up? They went, what?
Called The Sin Eater. And that's what I do. I really understanding a little bit better about being a sin eater and why I do what I do. That just really. So anyway, we're going to talk about that too. We'll have a talk about being a sin eater, being an
Awesome.
empath, being psychic, being a healer, being all of that. Kind of more of my journey. I think I want to be more expressive of that. Um, I think one night I'm going to do a whole testimony and have a coming out party, I guess, of
Yay.
all of my stuff, and not hide behind anything or any yeah,
Speaking your truth.
speaking my truth, and that's what these videos are about that I'm doing. It's just these are only my. Let me just put it that way. I should make a little disclaimer. These are my truth. You don't have to accept them as yours. I always ask, a question, and tonight is, are you being responsible for yourself, or are you taking on other people's responsibility? And if you're taking on other people's responsibility, how are you crippling them?
Mm-hmm. Those are good things to meditate on and journal and reflect on.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because responsibility has a very vast meaning, even energetically, and feeling it. And that's one of the things that I'm really working with is the feeling of the words is the most important to me now. What does it feel like? What does responsibility feel like? What does value feel like? What does gratitude feel like?
And how do
Because
you
we
express that? Not only feel it, but express and emote.
absolutely, absolutely. So yes,
Be blessed. Be loved.
blessings.
Be loved.
I'm gonna go eat some Oreo cookies. No, I already had those. I'm sorry, but um, I'm gonna rest and do a few things. And I'm gonna go pick up Danny tomorrow. Let me go get me some love.
Mr. Danny
Danny loves
Humphrey,
him.
give him a hug for me.
Yeah, maybe I'll have him on my video tomorrow night.
That'll be
We talk
awesome.
about we'll talk about love with him.
Not just love, but unconditional love.
Yes. You have changed my life. Thank you for being my teacher. And I forget to say that to people. Thank you for being my teacher. Because everybody here is my teacher. I am the student. I'm never ever the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I learn from everybody that I'm around.
And that's the beauty about life. Everyone is a teacher and everyone is a student. And we can
Right.
always learn something.
And when you forget that, Spirit always shows it up. Hi, Gretchen. So blessed to be on this path and walking this path, and especially at this time. In this time, we're really, really elevating our consciousness right now. So, be very blessed. And we're in the new wave spell of the
Red Moon, feelings and emotions. Honoring
flow.
being in the flow.
Always the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Blessings and love. Blessings and love.
Till next time.
Next time, share our videos.
Yeah.
Share these videos. And we're trying to figure out how to get them up on the YouTube. Or maybe I need to do it from YouTube and move it over here, but I don't know how to do all of that. So we'll just have to figure it out.
We will find a way. There's always a way.
I really want to do that app, get an Apple computer and do the app that will allow us to go on the Apple to play onto their live, that we can do the little captions and things on there.
Not only that, I recently had an experience with Zoom and I really enjoyed the platform. You can go live with multiple people at multiple times.
But we need to do that yet.
Oh, yes. We will.
Okay.
All right, everyone.
All right, ciao, ciao. Bye.